Great power is not always the powerful weapon. Sometimes you just need a brain. Here are some of the 10 best examples of characters who completely control the room the moment they appear. Number 1. The Joker. In The Dark Knight, Joker feels dangerous because normal rules don't work on him. Take the interrogation scene. Batman is physically stronger. He's the one throwing punches, but somehow Joker still controls the conversation. Why? Because he removes predictability. Most villains want money, power, revenge, something clear. Joker acts like chaos itself. You can't negotiate with him because he isn't playing the same game as everyone else. That uncertainty makes every scene feel unstable. You're never watching to see if he wins physically. You're watching because nobody knows what he'll do next. Number 2. Darth Vader. Vader is the opposite of Joker. He doesn't rely on chaos. He relies on certainty. Everything about him is controlled. The breathing, the movement, the voice. And that consistency creates authority instantly. One of the best examples is the hallway scene in Rogue One. The moment Vader appears, panic takes over before he even attacks. That's important. His presence changes the behavior of everyone around him before he says a word. Great villains don't always need screen time. Sometimes they just need impact, and Vader might be the clearest example of that. Number 3. Hans Landa. Hans Landa controls scenes through conversation. The opening farmhouse scene in Inglourious Basterds is basically just people talking, but it feels more intense than most action scenes. Why? Because Landa structures the conversation like a trap. He stays polite, calm, patient, and while everyone else gets more nervous, he never changes his rhythm. That imbalance gives him control. The terrifying part about Landa isn't aggression. It's how comfortable he is while everyone else is collapsing under pressure. Number 4. Anton Chigurh. Anton Chigurh feels less like a person and more like inevitability. The gas station coin toss scene shows this perfectly. He doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten dramatically. He just acts like the outcome already exists. That's what makes him unsettling. Most villains try to dominate situations emotionally. Chigurh removes emotion completely. Once he enters a scene, it feels like fate entered with him. And the scariest part is how calm he stays the entire time. Number 5. Agent Smith. Agent Smith feels powerful because he talks like a machine that already reached its conclusion. In The Matrix, his conversations with Neo aren't emotional debates. They feel like a system explaining why resistance is pointless. His tone barely changes, even during chaos. That lack of emotional reaction makes him feel bigger than a normal villain. Like he's not just one person. He's the logic of the world itself pushing back. Number 6. Orman-Ghiti. Orman-Ghiti is disturbing for a different reason. Unlike theatrical villains, his control feels realistic. He makes life and death decisions casually, almost routinely, and that lack of hesitation is what makes him horrifying. There's no dramatic speech, no visible guilt, no internal conflict, just power being used without empathy. That realism makes his scenes deeply uncomfortable to watch, because history has shown people like him actually existed. Number 7. Bane. Bane controls scenes through composure. Even during fights, he rarely sounds emotional or rushed. His calm voice completely contrasts with the destruction happening around him. That contrast makes him feel grounded and confident, even in chaos. One reason Bane stands out is because he never looks impressed by anyone else. He walks into every scene already believing he's in control, and that confidence changes the energy immediately. Number 8. Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is interesting because he's the opposite of controlled villains like Vader. He wants control, but keeps losing it emotionally, and honestly, that's what makes him compelling. His anger feels unstable and unpredictable. One moment he's composed, the next he's destroying a room out of frustration. That emotional instability gives his scenes tension in a completely different way. You're not afraid because he's calm. You're afraid because he might explode at any second. Number 9. Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden doesn't control people through fear. He controls them through ideas. In Fight Club, people don't follow him because he's physically dominant. They follow him because he gives meaning to their frustration. That's what makes him dangerous. The more he talks, the more people around him start repeating his worldview like it's their own. And once a villain controls how people think, physical power becomes almost unnecessary. Number 10. Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter barely moves, yet he dominates every scene he's in. Even when locked behind glass, he feels like the person with the most power in the room. Why? Because he studies people instead of reacting to them. Every conversation feels like he already noticed something everyone else missed. And unlike louder villains, Lecter never needs to prove intelligence. The calmness is the proof. When you look at all these characters together, the pattern becomes obvious. The most memorable villains aren't always the strongest. They're the ones who control tension, pacing, and attention. The room changes when they enter it. And the best part? Most of them don't even need action scenes to do it. Because real screen presence isn't about winning fights. It's about making every moment feel like it belongs to them. And with that, why don't you hit that subscribe and like button so that you are updated on my daily posts? Have a great day.